What is anarcho-capitalism? To give you the simple answer, it's peace. While that won't suffice for most of you, I'll explain further. Anarcho-capitalism is a political philosophy that aims to eliminate the state. And just 15 seconds into this video, I can see your minds conjuring up pictures of hooded figures tossing Molotov cocktails and Somali pirates pillaging their homeland. But those views would only come to mind with the assumption that the state is equivalent to order, and this is not the case. First, let's nail down what the state that anarcho-capitalists want to eliminate actually is. It's quite a vague term, and a number of things might come to your mind. Your local fire department, the military, welfare services. But that's not what anarcho-capitalists define as the state. Our definition is much more focused, and it's as such. A state is an institution that systemizes the initiation of force. In simpler terms, the state comprises of a group that uses aggression as a problem-solving technique, and anarcho-capitalists prefer voluntary interaction to aggressive interaction. But why, you might ask? Because we believe that aggression is immoral. I know, what a profound revelation. But it really is an obvious one, right? The reason it's immoral is because aggression is the initiation of force on another person or their property. For those that are having doubts, let's do a quick mental exercise. Try to think up an instance where initiating force on someone is a moral good. I'll give you a minute. Good. You got it? Now, you might have thought of a service, like the police, that the state provides by way of taxation. If you did, you've made an assumption that necessary services can't be provided through voluntary interaction. If there's a market for a good or service, there will invariably be ways to facilitate that without coercion. As an example, the education system in private hands has largely seen better performance than state-run schools, and this is because a profit motive not only drives a business to think about their consumer, but it creates accountability when there's competition and consumers can choose their favorite provider. Now, if you didn't choose a government-run service in the mental exercise, you might have chosen another action that initiates force that ends up leading to an aesthetically pleasing end. For example, you might have said something in the line of, but event A is the initiation of force and it led to event B. So since B is good, then A is good. If you thought this, you would also be mistaken. If I go to the store and steal from Ari, the shop owner, I can give those stolen goods to the homeless man James from across the street. James would obviously be thrilled to have a meal for the night, but that doesn't stop the fact that I stole from Ari, and for that reason, actions must be morally considered independent of events that follow, especially because as humans we don't know the future. I or someone else could have legitimately bought that food from Ari's store without having to steal them, and then could have voluntarily given it to James. Since we don't know the future, it's difficult to justify that anything that is a moral evil could be a moral good simply by its after effect. And this is the position of the anarcho-capitalist. We want to systemize peace and voluntary interaction to solve our social woes, and this defining principle is applied to our positions on specific issues. Taxation is aggression, so we're against it. War is aggression, so we're against that. Burkini bans, drug laws, and mandated insurance are aggression, so we're against it. But this doesn't mean that we advocate for drug use, or don't want to help those in need. So if you're not an anarcho-capitalist by now, and in all seriousness, I don't expect you to be from just one video, I do have a question for you though. Without knowing the future actions of individuals, how do you justify systemizing aggression, and why does your aggression have the privilege of being a roadblock to peace? I'd like to know in the comments below, and I challenge you to start a friendly conversation with those you know on Twitter and Facebook and see what their answer is. Liberty out, but not gone.